Welcome back to Arkansas Bigfoot, everybody. Another spectacularly dreary day down here in the Sasquatch Bottoms. Got a potential for a little bit of rain and hail, rocks and limbs, not necessarily in that order, but we're going to start up here at the beginning. This big ground nest, which is about 100 yards behind the house, came back this way and noticed on this tree all these claw marks. Now this is the area where we had those glow sticks hanging in the video, where we had the limb tossed out at us. But if you could kind of walk over there and let them see a size reference of how big that hole is under there. And it's
got a good foot in there too.
pretty accommodating.
I'd say junior by the size of it.
And there's a print there.
Well, it's mushed down above it.
And kind of crawling out through that way.
There's a hole back. I don't want to crawl through the
got
hole.
a place to crawl through on that side to get over to the pond.
Just looking for feet.
I thought that was pretty interesting how all that's chewed up on there now. Probably a good 12 foot tall. Now let's take a walk back here and check on all of our gifting areas and see if there's been any kind of activity. We had checked at the one day right after we had put the beans and cornbread out, and we'd had all that rain, so nothing had really been disturbed. I think we came back to it a little too quick, but today it's been, what, 5 days since I did that video?
One apple gone out of all that stuff.
Had one apple gone out of all of it, but find a little shallower place to get across this. Don't see any tracks there, so you're going that way? All right. I try to keep a mental note to keep the camera up a little more often toward the tops of the trees and stuff. A lot of people have asked to see a little bit higher up in here in case there's something hanging off of one of these trees. We get so caught up in what we're finding that's down on the ground that a lot of times I forget. Come on, Granny. Rachel was telling me what her interpretation of those 5 rocks in a semicircle around that farthest gifting tree, what she thought it was.
Well, what came to mind was before we had their 3 separate and our 2 separate, and it was as if they lined them all up around the base of that tree as though we were all kind of in line with each other. And it's just a thought that came to mind. I don't know, but that one's stripped as high as the other one. Well, it's kind of right there in front of you. I don't know if you can see it, though.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you just feel like it's right there on top of you. Never felt hesitant to walk back here, but
I don't know if I feel hesitation, but
I guess I'm just feeling something.
every time we
Well, that is totally bewildering. They went to all that effort a week ago for all of that. No, I think the apple's still there.
it was on top.
It was under that limb. I can see it barely.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it now.
I went to all that effort and drug all this mess up here. And there it is. It hasn't been touched.
Maybe we shouldn't leave it back here.
Yeah, that apple's still underneath that limb there at the
Move
top
it.
of the... Well, yeah, let's go ahead and take it. We'll take it back there to the other ones.
Yeah, that rock's dried out now. It was covered in mud and
And this is a part now. It was that triangle.
yeah, there's the other piece.
The other piece is laying over there. So obviously something has been through here.
I suppose if it, I don't know, the deer would kick it that far. But maybe.
Said a lot of times they'll leave stuff for us like that, and we come back the next time and it's either completely gone or rearranged again.
Yeah.
Or moved to another area, maybe 25 or 50 yards away.
With those cold snap, I don't know if we change areas. We never did have totally figured that out.
But from where I'm standing, I don't see anything on the edge of the creek in the mud right there, so I think we just go on farther back and if that arch is still like it was, that's not been undone. So this is me consciously trying to give you the treetops.
too.
Do you hear that big bump?
I did.
It came from all the way back there toward that last gifting tree. Like a great big thump. I don't know. It sounded more like using their hand or something. Didn't sound like.
Is this that same spot we found the kerfuffle? I thought it was further down.
Yeah, it didn't sound like wood on wood. It sounded like flesh on wood.
Oh. Well, it's not ours, but.
Yeah, as long as it's not our flesh, that's all right.
That's so cold. So cold.
Walk along the edge of the creek here and keep an eye out for any kind of tracks if you see any.
Here. What's that? It's got a little more of a, maybe an arch in the middle there. I wasn't understanding them that arch. Unless it was a higher place on the.
Well, that's a root right there in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
step on it, you wouldn't press it down.
Just looks odd. Not really anything evident. You ever figure Sasquatch out?
And there, the dogs are going again. As soon as we come into here, they are over on the farthest side.
Yeah. No, they can't.
I know the dogs can't hear, see, or smell us from where we're at, and the wind's blowing right in my face.
If they were purely animal, wouldn't they be more predictable in their patterns?
Yeah, if it was something more like, deer and whatever, they'd usually tend to follow the same type of pattern until they're disturbed. But
That, and they act like they have more of a conscience of sorts.
well,
as far
definitely
as,
they've got more thinkability.
well, I see the bean can. I don't know if it's open or not. Tell you that too, those beans might not have been right. Although it has been cold.
Well, if they ate all those beans, it's no wonder the dogs could smell them.
Poor fella.
There go the crows giving you away.
Yeah, good old crows. God love them.
Well, your juice bottle is out. I don't know about that coffee can full of beans, but I can see stuff everywhere over there.
Then they have been here.
I said they might not like them. I don't know.
I brought peanuts and popcorn in case they didn't like them, because I know they like those. That's when they left that big track and all the other goodies. I'll make amends.
And just walk right up through that right there.
Just. If they know. Stump there, be careful. They didn't take the top off, so I'm not sure they squeezed and busted it.
Well,
I took the top off of the one back.
now how neat and convenient is that? They took the lid off, ate everything out of it, and
And
sent
left
it all right back down.
You think that's a hint?
Want more?
This time I think
I
we have.
mean, that is completely cleaned out, and it was 2/3 full. Show them the bucket.
It was up to here.
Yeah, it was 2/3 full of beans.
I don't see a bean. The bone is back there. Look, they left
Made
an
a-
X
made a
here
X in
out
the
of the
box.
sticks. These sticks are all down.
And knocked that big off of the tree. That big limb was leaning up, and it's down again.
Did we leave anything else?
But obviously, all the fruit is gone. The beans are gone. The cornbread's gone.
Track is
They've
almost washed.
left us an X out here in the
I guess that's a
leaves
thank you.
next to the box.
I take it they liked your hot cornbread.
They like the jalapeno cornbread, huh? But they left you the bones and the marbles still. They didn't take them back, so I think they were just an acknowledgement of here
Yeah.
we are and keep it coming. I'm not sure what the significance of the bones laying in the box would have been, but I can see where they've been gnawed on and chewed on. You can see flat teeth marks.
But they haven't sucked the bone marrow out, so I don't know if.
I don't know.
I don't know if you can get a close enough shot of all that.
Looks kind of bleached out in the camera. I don't know.
All right.
But anyway, that's a shoulder blade and a shoulder bone off a deer. I've hunted and skinned and done enough deer that I know what a deer shoulder blade and bone looks like. So that's not anything nefarious that you need to be concerned about. That's a natural animal to the woods. So,
And they took the mango.
and they got the mango this time,
Oh, bird's nest is gone.
and they took the bird's nest. So
It probably fell apart with all this weather.
the only bag that was here was the one that the cornbread was in, right?
Right, and it was one of those heavy duties that
And it was
blocked
that
back.
heavy duty bag.
I don't
You
know.
know, I don't see it out anywhere. Up there at that other tree, they had taken them across the creek and up the side of that hill a good 50 yards away from the tree.
That's got. You think those will be all right? Grapes and.
Yeah, they got
Banana
grapes and
and peanuts.
bananas and peanuts. You might find a elephant track out here if you keep bringing peanuts.
That's too heavy for that. I need a heavier stick.
What about
There's not really
What about
a lot
right-
of niches.
right there?
Oh, I can try it.
Right there where your hand is, your right hand. There you go.
Well, alrighty then. I guess you're cooking more beans. Does that mean they're locals? Oh, they left the 20.
put it in the bag so there's not extra garbage laying out here. I'm trying to think. The only thing I've got left over in there is that cabbage stew. We just gave them beans, so I don't know if they need cabbage right after that.
You're just asking.
I'm liable to hear them rooting toot all across the woods. That'd be what? Rudy Tooty, Bigfoot Pooty, or...
Oh, no. Come on.
My brain goes to those places. I can't help it. It's just the way it is. So.
Scarier than the woods.
Yeah, my mind is a scary place. Why is this all?
I know. Something, that was there, those were there, something's different.
It just, I don't know. It just, something about it right here. I think we're going to go off to the left a little piece and look up in here.
Did you move this there?
No, that deadfall was there, but all of that looks like a steamroller rolled across it.
Well, technically it qualifies, but is that weird?
And you thought my brain was a scary place.
Hey, I'm leaving all of you to your own devices. I'm just carrying the bean can.
But it was way up there through all these big pines and stuff that we had found that blue blanket and stuff the last time. And then the blanket got drug up to that first gifting spot, and all the other stuff that was piled up around it disappeared, and we haven't seen it. The other thing that we realized was gone was that little baseball, that little spongy baseball that we'd
Both
left.
of the balls. Yeah.
So both of the balls have
I
disappeared.
brought another one today. That big cable. We never
Yeah,
have
we
found
never
it.
have found that big wire cable that was by the tree back here in the back there for a week or two. It disappeared when all that stuff moved again out of that ground nest in the back.
I just want to see what this is on the ground. They're leaves, but don't feel like they're in place or something. I don't know. I they had this one already pinned last time?
Yeah, that tree has been pulled down and pinned for a long time. Well, let's get up there and see if your stuff is still around that tree like it was.
Sure.
I think here in just a little bit we'll hike back over there around that mound area again, or just a little farther beyond that. I might do something entirely different. I don't know. Well, they grabbed the food out of it, but that's it. Oh yeah, you do have a sandbox. I forgot that one had one in it. It's a little squishy ball.
Yeah. It was up with the food though, so it probably fell. But they got the mango, the apple, the
Yeah, they got the
cornbread.
food out of it, the cornbread and mango and apple. And
I'll leave that. Whichever one.
that's where we had found the bags taken across the creek and all the way up that hill into the woods there. That's where we found those bags the other day.
I opened it.
And she had taken the top off of that little juice bottle the last time we were out here. Now it's all gone.
I'm still trying to figure out how we got it out of this one without taking the top.
I don't even see any holes in it.
I'm gonna leave the ball in this one.
Yeah. Well guys, we got a lot more ground to cover and a lot more stuff to explore, and hang in there with us and we will pick this up on the next leg of it. Appreciate you coming along. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe, and we will catch you later. Thanks.